Recording. Good Monday morning, everyone. My name is Stacy Turner. Welcome to our DMOpro Zoom. We're so glad you're here with us. And today we're going to be talking about finding your one word. I don't know if you've ever done this before. In our community, there's a lot of people that, this has been for years, we've done this, and it's just really something that gives clarity and focus. And I've already got a boards page built out for you guys that I will share that has all the resources because I knew you'd want that. And I'm going to share just some of the things that I have learned over the years, me personally, how this has helped me, and then what I do to keep my word in front of me all year round. We're going to walk through the process of that. So if you have a DMO planner, at the beginning of the planner, I call it sort of the higher thinking section at the very beginning. Sometimes it freaks people out to have to write things down. I'm one of those. I don't like my handwriting, so I want to type it out. I don't like to write things. And so journaling, I'm not a journaler. She's already got her pen there and her paper. So, everyone's different. So don't feel like there is one way that you have to do this. So I'm just going to give you some suggestions. But even though I'm not a journaler, I don't like to write. I do like to get my thoughts out of my head and on paper, some sort of visual image. And I sort of have to sit down and make myself do this, but the rewards are there. Like, it's so worth it to take the time and the effort to be able to find your clarity of one word. And that's what I really find that it does. Clarity. So last year, I never found one. Like, I never really had one. I kind of did for a couple of months, but it just wasn't that strong. And I felt like all year I kind of wavered in and out of focus and clarity. And having one word for me each year, it's like when something comes in and it's like an opportunity. Hey, do you want to help out with this? Would you like to be on this committee? Would you like to go to this event or whatever it is? I use that one word as like, I go back to that. Does this, one year it was deeper. Does this take me deeper into my relationship with God, deeper into my relationship with my family, deeper into connections with my team, deeper into business down, business lines. So if it didn't, and I felt like, no, I really think it's not going to take me deeper. It's going to make me go more shallow. It's going to be a distraction. It's going to take me away. Then I knew that was something to just say not right now to, or no, thank you, or just no. But without that word, I just found like I wasn't as grounded. And so I didn't have something to go back to because I hadn't worked through really finding that. And so that's just one example of just, as opportunities come around. But then I also find when I find that word, when I have it, I find books that are on that topic. And, like I start to really dive in and learn more about that. So when we lived in Alabama and we would drive to New Mexico for Christmas, it was often on that drive back, it was hours in the car, right? Kids are watching a movie or whatever. I would put headphones in and I would just really start working through the week worksheets. I would start thinking about it now, which is why I'm doing this with us today and not waiting until January, because for me, it takes time to find that word. It's never been something that just instantly came to me and I was like, oh, I love that word and I'm just going to go with it. I think about it. I pray about it. I really speak it out, and I want it to be something deeper than just, oh, I like the feelings of that word. That word makes me happy. And so like one year we're driving, I couldn't figure it out. Like I had sort of narrowed down to some words, but it just was not coming to me like super clear. I was like, I just don't know. And I was talking it through with my husband. It was something that we kind of did together. And this truck drove by and it had the word forward on like this huge semi. And I was like, that's it. That's the word. Like it totally summed up everything that was on my papers, and I knew exactly that is it, and I never wavered from that again. It was forward, and I used that word that whole year. One of the years that we first moved into this house, the word was ask, and just like ask for help, ask for clarity, ask for a learning opportunity, ask to get involved. Ask for involvement. I had a lot of things that I felt like I was sort of doing on my own, and I was handling it, but having other people involved really made such a difference when I let other people into the process of whatever it was that I was working on. So that was my one word. There's people that write that one word on a rock. If you ever go to Peachtree City Boot Camp, there's a group of us on Amy Getz' team, and Janelle Whiff, she brings river rocks, and they're just, a stone about this big, and you write that one word on the rock, and then you have it like on your desk. I love doing that. And then I also love doing where you take the one word and then make a dream board into it. And that is also in your planner. So it has both options for you on that. And just to give you an idea, again, I don't like really crazy, like a big dream board and a big poster board that's bright pink. It just doesn't fit with my decor. I'm just not going to have this big poster board on my wall. I just won't. And so what I found is putting it into a frame makes a difference. And so I have a smaller one. This was the year I did the word deeper, and I can put that on my desk, and it's on a shelf here in my office. So that was one year my husband and I, we worked on a dream board together. It was like a date weekend in January, and we worked on this, both of us. And then we had this in our living room that year, or somewhere, maybe it was in our bedroom. But then this one was the word ask. So it gets bigger, right? Like you can do bigger or smaller. This was just a frame I bought at Walmart, and the word was ask, and then it was all different kinds. The colors matched my office. It didn't look crazy hanging on the wall. I know that sounds silly, but I wouldn't have hung it up if it didn't. So if that's important to you as well, obviously, if not liking my handwriting, maybe perfectionism is an issue. I'm not sure on that one. And then also having it on something that you wear every day and you see it. This I would say has been the biggest impact. Like this was the same year, deeper, and I wore it all year. I cut it off at the end of the year, so they stay on that long. And it was just a token bracelet, and you can get one that has your own word stamped into it. So you can get them at myintent.org, or my daughter makes them, and I'll send you guys the link to it. It'll be $20 on myintent.org, but Brielle makes them for $15. And then you can get, I think it's up to 18 different characters, stamped onto it, but she hand makes them. They've done this business since they were like 12 and 14. It's been fun. But that was actually on one of my dream boards, was to help my kids become entrepreneurs. And now all three of them are, which has been really fun. So there's, things like that you may think, years ago that you put on something and you write down as important, and then it sticks in your subconscious mind because you took it from abstract to something concrete. You wrote it down, you had a focus on that, and it was a driving, force, I would say, that really prompted me to help them learn to, build income, to manage income, those sort of things. So that really has come from this whole one word exercise as well. So how do you even begin? That is some, questions that a lot of people have. Now, I want to encourage you guys, this is something you can do in your communities. Take what I'm going to show you today, and the one word worksheets, all the resources I'm going to give to you guys. Take it and set a class up in January in your town, in your community. We've done it at church because they had the tables and chairs already there. And one time we had 40 people in that room. We found the word, and then we worked on a one word worksheet. Like a poster board, dream board. My goodness, I couldn't think of the word. So that's a great way to build back into the community, for them to see that you're about positivity, that you're about helping them find, their goals, and just being a resource. And sometimes I think that is a part that might be missing in people's business. Do the people around you, does your community see you as a resource? So it may not just be health. I think this is part of like mental health, which I think is important, but like let them see that you are a resource, and they'll come back to you. And be the fun. If you've got something fun to do, something different, people are attracted to that, and they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. And a lot of great conversations can happen in that. I included teenagers. We had a whole table of teenagers, and that was a lot of fun. So definitely something we're going to be doing again. And when my kids were little, there was one year, they probably would have been like 10, 11, and 13, probably. That was the age that they were. I took this one-word worksheet that I had made up for them. We went to Chick-fil-A, and I bought them ice cream, and we sat down and had them write out their word and like work through it. And at first they were like, "Mom, I don't want to do this," especially my son. He was the oldest. But then as they started to get into it and we found their word, they really did enjoy the process of it, and they got ice cream. And then it was something that every year they were like, "Are we going to do that one word?" I've done it with a group the week between Christmas and New Year, when you've got a lot of family, like sit down with family members and help them find their word. Like it really can be a uniting activity and something to do when everyone's bored. So I hope you'll use the resources and do your own events around it, build into that, and make it something bigger than just us here on this call or just for yourself. So the first thing I would say to do is find this sheet. That's the goals sheet. And what you're looking for is to write down information in each of these boxes, because we're wanting to find a word that sums up all areas of our life, not just our business. Now, if you don't like the word goals, then don't use that word, and write down the word favorites. Okay. So if goals are not your thing, if that frightens you, then write down favorites. Like right now, like where do you want your focus to be, or what are your favorite things about relationships, date nights, one-on-one time, I don't know, just coffee with a friend. What are your favorite things about relational? What is it that you want in your life in that area? What's missing? You can write down what's going well, but you just want to start really like dive into that relational. What do you want for 2023 in that area? What's a need that's there? What's an area of focus within that? What's something that went well last year that you want to carry into 2023? So then you go to personal. What are some of my favorite things about personal? Give me an example, and I guess it could kind of be relational. Jarrett and I he's the boss of his own company. I have to remind him of that. Like, you're the boss, you don't have to go in so early. So we started, I would say, stay home, let's have coffee together. So now it got to where he goes in a little bit later, and we have coffee in the mornings and just have time to talk. And so it gets me out of bed earlier, because I'm a night owl and he's the one that gets up super early. So it's just been some time, just us. And then like today, he had to go in early all week. So he texted, "Hey, we should be having coffee right now." And I realized I do really enjoy that time together. So I want to continue that on. So just think about small things like that if you just dig in a little bit. What about your health? What's going really well with that? Maybe you're wanting to incorporate Shred 10 next year each month. And so you can just write Shred 10 in there. Maybe you want to, eat a salad off the Tower Garden each time. Maybe you want to host an event, a health event in your community every month. There's different things that you can write into that health. You're wanting life, personal, family, business, anything that goes into those categories, just write it down. I would also encourage you, don't edit yourself, right? that's where you're going to get in trouble. Like, that doesn't really fit, or I shouldn't write that, or who am I to think I should have that, thing, or that, experience, or that relationship, or that pleasure, whatever that is. Just write it down. You can edit it out later if you want to, but just let your mind free flow thinking within that. Financial goals. Maybe it's something that you want to pay off. Maybe it's a certain amount of money you want to make this month, or each month, each year. Maybe you want to get to have benefits with Juice Plus, whatever that is. Is it a certain need, or is it a desire? Write down both. Again, don't edit yourself, just put the information in there. And then look at your business goals as well. What's the next rank that you want to hit? What is it that you're looking to achieve? And just write down that information. Our little dog is barking. Can you guys hear her? She's driving me crazy. No? Just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to ignore her. Switched out the water bowl. Oh no, can't drink out of that water bowl. Oh my goodness, she drives us crazy. Gwen is laughing because she knows this little dog's ridiculous personality. Okay, spiritual goals. Maybe it's, we go to church every once in a while, but I really want to get involved and go every Sunday. Maybe it's, I want to go more than just Sundays, but I want to dive into a Bible study. Maybe it's finding a devotional at home that you use in the mornings, that you wake up and you start your day with that. Praying together as a family. What does that look like? Going to a women's conference, going to a couples retreat. That was something that we put into our budget every year, especially when the kids were younger. If our church didn't have one, but we had friends that had a church that had a couples, retreat for a weekend once a year, we would save money and we would take the time to go just to invest in ourselves. And that was a spiritual thing for both of us together. And it was a relational side. So just think through those areas. What is it? What are your favorites? What do you want? What do you desire? What are your goals? Whatever word is an encouragement to you to write down the list, pick that word. Like I said, if goals isn't it, don't force goals, because that can be frightening. But for some people, and others are like all about the goals. Let me write down, this is exactly what I want. So just explore it, and think about, what do you want to do? What do you want to become? What do you want to share? What do you want to create, have, give, learn, experience, and enjoy? And that list is at the bottom of your planner paper as well. So if you didn't catch all of that. Okay, so once you have that filled out, that's going to kind of give you some direction and kind of bring you into focus of where you're at, where you want to be, kind of to give you some clarity and direction forward as you choose your one word. So you take all of those words that you've written, and then you make a paragraph, write out a paragraph that includes details about each area. Again, if you don't like writing, type it out. You can always print that out and tape it into your planner. That's me, guys. Like, I'm just not going to write it. I want to mess it up. I want it to stay pretty. I'm going to type it out. I can edit myself better. I'm going to misspell some word anyway, and it's not underlined in red on my planner, and only on the computer will I know it's misspelled. So just write it out, include details about each of those areas. And then this is going to help give you sort of an action plan and steps in your mind as you go about and you apply to your daily life. So I want you to use statements such as I am, and instead of I will. So I am eating healthy. I am, okay. And even that I am eating healthy, that's very broad, right? Like, what is healthy? You could say, I am drinking a Juice Plus Complete Shake every day. I am eating a salad from my tower garden. I, am doing the Shred 10 each month, versus something so broad as I'm going to eat healthier. That's subjective. That can change from hour to hour. I did eat healthier, I only ate one brownie instead of 3, or whatever that is. So get specific in each of those areas and write out I will statements. So it's just taking kind of a sentence from each of those boxes of business, personal, health, all of those, kind of putting a sentence of each of those areas into a paragraph that's kind of starting to summarize your thoughts. And then start writing down any possible words. And I'm going to give you guys some lists of words as well. that you can choose from, and anything that comes to mind as you read the paragraph. Now, I have found that having somebody read the paragraph out loud, to me, that is helpful to them. So if that would be helpful, like if you're just stuck and you're like, I can't figure this out, I'm not sure what word it is, send me a Voxer personally, not in the group chat, because we don't want to freak everyone out and clog up the chat, but just send me a message and read your paragraph out loud to me or to your spouse, and then just ask them, is there some word that comes to your mind as I read this out loud? And as you read it out loud, something may come to your mind. So write down those words. Again, don't edit yourself, just write them down. You can always go back and change that, and cross out one of those words. As you start to make a list of words, then I find like one word will lead you to another, especially if you dig in with a thesaurus and a dictionary. So just find it on your phone, and then you're going to type in the word, read the definition. Does it fit? Sometimes you're like, it's close, but it's not really, that's not it. And then there will be similar words at the bottom. You can click on those and then read the definition. And that's what I mean. Like one word can lead you to another that leads you to another. Like the word amplify was my daughter's 1 month or 1 year. I mean, amplify, all right, like I don't really know exactly what that word meant, and it's not a word we use in our vocabulary, but as we narrowed it down, we found that through the thesaurus. And as I read the definition of it, she was like, that is it. Yes, that's it. And so that was her word for the year. So just, sometimes it's kind of fun to have a word that's not really known, especially when it's stamped on your wrist. People will ask you, what is that? What's that word? Or why did you choose that word? Or, what's that bracelet? And then it's a reminder again to have the conversation and to keep talking about it. So, this word that you choose, in the end, it's going to encompass all areas of your life. Like you're really going to be able to apply it to each of those. And you might think, how in the world can one word fit in each of the categories? But it really will. It's really pretty cool. So one of the things that the authors of the book, and I'm going to give you guys, again, the resource to buy it, they talk about looking up, praying, like I talked about, just really praying and asking for good direction of clarity and like a knowing, this is my word. And then look around, who in my life can this impact? And then looking in to where, you're really looking at a deeper place for yourself. So I hope that kind of gives you guys some direction of where to go with this. And I would love to hear from you guys who has chosen a word in the past, and maybe share what that word was, the impact it's had on you. Like, how do you keep it forefront in your mind? If you've never done this before, what are your thoughts on this? What excites you guys? I would just love to hear from you. So who would like to share?
Stacy, and I muted everybody, so they're going to need to unmute.
Awesome. Thank you, Patty. Tell us about your word, because you've already picked it for this year.
Yeah, it's so funny because I have a couple things, my team name, for instance, but my word already, it was totally a word that came to me. I believe it was a word from God, and it shows up everywhere, and it's crazy. My word is shift, SHIFT. And for me, it's shifting everything, maybe shifting the way I'm doing things, shifting my thought process. As Stacy was saying, it goes into every aspect of my. And the amazing thing is it does show up everywhere. And I did order the word shift from Stacy's daughter. So I have my bracelet. I don't have it on right now, but it's amazing. And it just kind of gets you to go, okay, what am I doing? And does it need to be different for me? And not that I'm not or trying to hit perfection, but whether it's my workout, maybe could I shift my workout that I'm putting 10 more minutes on the treadmill that's pushing me a little harder, or whatever it is, making those 5 more phone calls to see if we can get some better numbers this month, whatever it might be. But I love it. It really empowers me. It just kind of keeps me amped up.
Ooh, that's a good one. Amped up. Thank you, Patty. Anyone else want to share?
I will. Hey, Stacy. It's Leanne. Can you hear me?
Yes.
One year I found it's actually on my vision board right now, and it was a weed that was coming through the cracks of a cement walkway. And the word was breakthrough. And God just said to me, if there is a way that a little tiny weed can work its way through cement, there is a way that you can accomplish whatever you set out to do with me behind you. And so I still have that picture, that word breakthrough meant everything to me that year. And I did see breakthrough in so many areas of my life. And so I love being attached to that picture and the meaning behind it. And sometimes only God can give that to you, so.
That's awesome. And I love that that came from an image, and that could be yours too. See if you can find an image. That's what the dream board is going to help with too. Crystal says her mic isn't working, but her word has been victorious, and that's helped her in her cancer journey and her Juice Plus business, and then all aspects of her life. That's a good one. Anyone else?
I'll share one year, my word was leap. And I did find some really great pictures of, just that action. And, it carried on throughout the year because I felt like I was in my comfort zone and I needed to, get out. And I had a picture of a fishbowl and a fish jumping out into a bigger fishbowl. And, it really was a good visual for me to get out of my comfort zone and do things that maybe were a little nerve-wracking or scary. And, that was a good word for me. And I also think that when you're on these kinds of calls, you can take notes. I mean, I wrote down so many words just in your opening and sharing what you had. I mean, I have clarity and give and expand and shift and love and lead and resources and focus and build and deeper and fun. And so, that's another way that I kind of meditate, is listen to what leaps out to me. And then I do create a vision board. And, when you were talking about vision boards, I also created a little video of just the pictures and then had that on my phone. So, if you are a person that doesn't want to do a poster board or something, that's another way that you can keep those images in front of you, is just create a little video of the images and then watch that in the morning when you're doing your devotional or setting your, the tone for the day or the week, is just to watch that video. So that's another little helpful tip that helped me. And I actually, in the same way, as far as like poster boards on the walls and stuff, but I work out in my garage a lot. And so I have my vision boards out there. So while I'm working out, those are right in front of me.
Excellent. And thank you, Erin. And I did forget that too, to make a screen for your phone. And you can do that through Canva, where you can take a bunch of different pictures. And so you make sort of like a dream board or a collage, and then that's your screensaver. And when you turn on your phone, that word is there. I've just taken a picture of my dream board once I had it done, and I put that in there. And in your planner, you do have a 2-page spread that you can take and put, pictures and images from different magazines, or that you print off and put it in your planner to where you have it. You can come back and revisit it, each day as you are doing your work with that as well. Lisa, you want to share with us? Just remember you're muted.
Yes. I was thinking about my word. It needs to be decide, because I have a way of questioning myself all the time. So it'll take me forever to pick a course of action. Sometimes it's picked for me because I just don't decide in time. I might have an initial thought and then just go back on it and question and have to research everything. Like, I'm one of those. So I think it affects every area of my life, my business, everything. So I think my word is going to be decide. So thank you for having this, because actually I was thinking about planning for next year and I hadn't started yet. So this helped me decide. Thank you.
You're very welcome. That's so good. As you were saying it, I was like, I think her word is decide. And then you said that. So perfect. Crystal said she uses her word as part of her password. That's smart. So you would change it each year. maybe into your virtual office or whatever. Leanne says, Hey House has a digital vision board app too. So that's cool. I didn't know that there was a whole app on it. That's awesome. And then Erin said the book Soundtracks would be good for anyone that gets into indecision or mind chatter. Soundtracks. That's great too. Awesome. You guys are the best. I appreciate you being on here. I hope you can take this information. I will put the boards page into our DMO group as soon as I get this recording, because I will put it onto there as well. So thanks for joining in.